The Black Ops 7 CDL season starts this Friday, and whether you're a new fan, maybe you're someone coming on over from Halo, or you're a returning fan that wants to keep up with everything you might have missed over the offseason, here are the storylines and reasons to watch every single team this season. I did one of these videos last year, and people seem to really like it, so we're going to go through it again. This is why you should be locked in and check out every single team, not just your favorites throughout the entire year. And let's start it off with the Boston Breach, and the big thing for them is going to be how much can they improve on the unexpected, overachieving season they had last year in BO6. They got 3 top 6 finishes at Major 2, Major 3, and EWC, and they got top 3 at COD Champs, obviously the biggest event of the season. They overperformed what everybody thought they were going to get for them in 2025, and now they brought in Nasty for Awakening, which I think everybody agrees is definitely a big upgrade on paper. The question for them, the storyline for them is going to be, can they do it again? And can they improve and be a dark horse team throughout the entire season? Not to mention, you got Snoopy, who a lot of people expect to get even better. You got Purge, who people expect to get even better. Cammy and Nasty as the AR duo. This team has potential to be a big upset team. They can make a lot of big things happen. Are they going to have inconsistencies? Are they going to fall short like they have many, many times in the past? For the Carolina Royal Ravens, the big thing for them is their high potential rookie sub duo. They got a sub duo here that are both rookies in Craze and Lurks, who are 2 of the most hyped players, or the most hyped rookies coming into this season. They're also going to be the front line for a Slasher-led roster, right? Slasher, the oldest player in the league, a veteran who's been around for a very, very, very long time. You kind of know what you're going to get from him, but with 2 rookies in front of him, as well as Nero, who was a fast-paced SMG player, now switching into a flex role. What is this team going to have for us? How is Nero going to perform for his first time in this flex? And how good are these rookies going to be? Because I personally think they're going to be very good. And watching rookies every single season is a ton of fun. The potential for these guys is unknown. They could be a top team potentially at their peak, but they could also be a bottom team if they don't reach that potential. Cloud9 New York, a team to me that just feels like a bunch of misfits put together trying to prove the haters wrong. This is a full squad of guys that have all been dropped or benched pretty much throughout the last few years, right? Afro dropped and benched off Rocker, off LAT. Beans last season benched and then dropped by Toronto Ultra. Mac and Vivid from C9 last year. Mac was dropped. Vivid was dropped from the Ravens. I mean, Vivid, a guy who has been dropped pretty much every single season of the CDL, typically turns into that team getting worse, right? We know the Vivid curse that is here in the CDL, but these are a bunch of guys that are being put together trying to prove that they have what it takes to win and to be a top team. And after getting a top 4 placing at the 75K kickoff tourney we saw a few weeks ago, they've already broken through expectations, but the question is going to be, how much can they keep it up? One of the biggest dark horse storylines so far through the preseason has been G2 Minnesota. This new rocker team, are they really as good as they seem? I mean, they got 3rd place at the kickoff tourney, right? Beating big teams, right? Beating LAT, beating a lot of squads that many people would never expect them to do. These guys are already overperforming, but the question is, are they really this good? Or are they going to come back down to earth? Skies honestly has looked reborn on the map. I mean, he looks like one of the best ARs, one of the best snipers in the game so far through the preseason. Kremp and Estriel are going absolutely crazy. I mean, we saw Kremp drop over 50 kills on a Colossus hardpoint, looking disgusting. And Mamba, being the only rookie AR in the season, has a lot of hype and a lot of expectations around him after a really, really good end of the season with Omit and Challengers. The Vancouver Surge have a very high-profile rookie on their team that goes by the name of Legend, the only player to come directly from Halo into the CDL, into the Pro League. We have other Halo players, right, like some of his Optic teammates, as well as other players from other teams that have tried to switch back into the CDL or get into the CDL that are now starting in Challengers. But Legend straight into the league with a lot of high expectations and has not started out the preseason very hot. Not to mention, Gwyn is their most tenured pro player, only going into his 3rd season. You got Abe as a rookie also coming into this after a pretty good showing at EWC with Toronto Ultra. You got Lunars coming into his 2nd season after not a very good start to his year or start to his career in his rookie season on LAG. So with this rookie sub duo, how good can they be? Is it good that Lunars got a 2nd shot, or should someone else have taken his place on this team? A lot is going to fall on this coaching staff, pretty much an entire staff being taken from Omit, which is pretty dope to see. Shout out Omit. Those are my guys, you guys already know. But this Surge team is coming in probably being overlooked and expected to be towards the bottom. How much can they prove us wrong? Now let's talk about Paris Gentlemates, who have been one of the biggest stories so far through the preseason, getting 2nd place at the Monster kickoff a couple weeks ago, and then getting 1st place at the Quezon Invitational on LAN, beating out Optic twice. Obviously, one of those was like at like 1 a.m., but they still beat them earlier in a best of 5, 3-2 in the winners finals. This team, people expect to have inconsistencies, but also to have a very, very high ceiling, as we're already starting to see. The big question is going to be, how consistent can they be? These four guys, Ghosty, Envoy last year on Thieves, obviously had their inconsistencies. Sib coming off a pretty bad season with C9, and Neptune coming off a very good season with Surge, although Grand Finals never really went his way, and also had some pretty bad maps in those Grand Finals. And these guys, on top of that, are four players that have all received a lot of criticism about them as players and as people throughout the last couple years, right? You got Neptune, who's received criticism for breaking GAs. You have Sib, who a lot of people say is too confident or too cocky after not playing super well. You got Ghosty, who a lot of people are on his ass for crashing out, and people even saying he's been a bad teammate in the past. And then you got Envoy, his thoughts on Challengers, saying there's no talent in Challengers last season, as well as a lot of people think he's sort of developed an ego at this point in his career. A lot of people are on these guys' asses. How good are they going to play this season is going to be a big storyline. The Miami Heretics, big one for me is the rookie Trakes. He's coming in, filling in that spot for Real. Pretty big shoes to fill for a Miami team who definitely shocked a lot of people last season, getting multiple Sundays and looking pretty good throughout the entire season. You also got Super and Rencor, a rookie AR duo, coming into their second season now after playing really well. I mean, Rencor was Rookie of the Year. Super was like number 2 or number 3 in Rookie of the Year, maybe just behind Merc. These guys going into their second season should be a top class AR duo this year in Black Ops 7. And then on top of that, should they have kept Real? Should they have done everything they could to bring him back? There was a verbal agreement where apparently he said he was going to come back, and then he signs to Toronto Koi. Little bit of drama there, especially between Koi and Heretics as two Spanish organizations where the fan bases, the teams are rivals inherently. This team is going to be a lot of fun to watch, especially with the way they play COD. Very fast-paced, very aggressive in Black Ops 7. They're going to be a team that I think is going to be a blast. And speaking of their rivals, Toronto Koi, for me, the big thing is, can they reach their potential? Last year, a lot of people, including myself, thought at their peak they could win an event, but they never even made a grand final. I'm not even sure how many top 3s they got. I feel like they kind of went out like T3, T4, I guess, a couple times, T6 a couple times, kind of losing to Surge a lot on LAN last season, but can they reach their potential? Was keeping Insight the right call? At one point, Insight did tweet out he was a free agent, but ends up coming back to this team. They don't go for Nasty. They don't go for Ghosty. Let's say a couple of the options people maybe wanted them to go for. They decide to keep the Insight and CleanX duo alive. And on top of that, for Real, should he have stayed in Miami, right? Taking a chance, leaving a team that was pretty good last season to come on over to this Koi team to team up with Jodeci's, CleanX, and Insight. Was that the right move for him? I mean, these guys are also going to be another team that is going to be a ton of fun to watch. For the Riyadh Falcons, is it just a money grab or are they real competitors? Stellium obviously leaving FaZe, passing up maybe on joining the Thieves to come on over to Falcons for, rumored a very, very large amount of money. You have Exnid, was keeping him the right move, right? Should they have tried to bring in another, top CDL player or even above average CDL player instead of giving Exnid another chance, another year of reps in the CDL to see what he can do? They went out dead last in the Monster Kickoff a couple weeks ago, and they got reverse swept by a Doug Sensor Martin led Challengers team in Team War. Doug Sensor Martin has not played pro in like 2.5 years or even competed in 2.5 years. He has not beat a pro team in like 8 years. He comes out and beats this very, very highly paid Falcons roster in that kickoff tourney. Again, it's just a kickoff. It's just online. But the Falcons, with how much money is going into this roster, people have expectations that they should at least be competing for T6. And the question is going to be, how are the comms going to be? How is the teamwork going to be for these guys? Because they could have a high ceiling, but they could also have a super, super low floor. Vegas FaZe, man. I mean, they broke up one of the best, if not the best trios of all time, right? Cellium goes to Falcons, Abizi goes to Thieves, and they keep Simp as their main man on this roster, keeping Draza around as well, and bringing in Abuza and 04, who are coming off a pretty good, but unfortunately, Silver Surfer type of season with the Vancouver Surge. Was breaking those guys up, was keeping Simp as the main man the right move. On top of that, can Simp dominate without Abizi? We have never seen Simp play a pro season without Abizi, right? He joins E United in Black Ops 4, Abizi already on this team, and the Tiny Terrors have run the league rampant every single year since then. So what will they look like apart? As well as, was picking up 04 instead of Neptune the right move? Apparently, FaZe Navy never even offered Neptune a spot, but a lot of fans, a lot of people in the community think they should have went for Nep instead of 04. So we'll see if that call was the right one. And then Draza, he had an opportunity to put his beef aside with Scrap and go over to the Thieves instead of Kenny. He decides he's not going to do that. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay on FaZe. A lot of A lot of choices, a lot of opportunities for FaZe maybe passed up on in this offseason. Will it all come together? And on top of that, the rebrand, right? Switching over to pink instead of red. People maybe think that's a big L, maybe even a bigger L than the roster, a lot of people think. But like at the end of the day, I don't know. Rebrands are rebrands. It still does seem kind of weird to see FaZe in pink. Our second to last team, Optic Texas. I mean, everybody knows Optic. Everybody knows the storyline for these guys. Can they make the three-peat happen, right? Back to back to back COD champs. Is it in their future? And it feels like if anyone has that capability, these guys do, because this team has looked disgusting in the preseason. They've only lost twice, both of those being to Gentlemates in the most recent tourney at the Kason Invitational. They might be the most dominant team we've ever seen. They might be the new Optic dynasty if they are able to dominate this season. And the storyline for these guys is just going to be, how good can they be? Will they get complacent? Will they start to lose? Or will they stay locked in the entire season? Will Shotzzy get his 4th ring, maybe pushing him to being the GOAT of Call of Duty? Dashy and Hook, their 3rd ring. Mercules, his 2nd ring in just his 2nd season. These guys have the chance to make history and to really do crazy things. And to be honest, it looks like the best roster that could possibly do it. And then last but not least, my guys, the LA Thieves, looking like they built even more of a super team, at least on paper, bringing in a 2-time champion in Kenny, a 2-time champion in a BZ. But will it work, right? Was dropping Ghosty for Kenny, Envoy for a BZ the right move? Because through the preseason so far, with how good Gentlemates and Ghosty and Envoy have looked, it seems like a lot of people think it was the wrong move. Then you got Scrap, who's trying to prove everybody wrong, trying to prove that he can show up at the big tournaments and win a ring, right? Right now, looked at already as one of the best players to not have a ring in just a few short seasons. Can he do it? Will the personalities, will the play styles mesh on this team, or will it cause problems and lead to them losing matches and not performing on LAN? These guys have a high amount of pressure on them, a high amount of expectations. It is going to see how good they can be, how well they can mesh together. Can they show out? Can they be as dominant as we know they have the potential, or are they going to fall short? But this season looks like it is going to be insane. So if you want to stay up to date with everything from power rankings to predictions to tier lists to watch parties, scrims, all that sorts of thing, make sure you're subbed up. Turn noties on, because I got it all coming for you this season. It's going to be a grind, but it is going to be a ton of fun, man. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.